let me just say, what happened? I thought everyone loved the Lego movie, and yet, 1 year after its sequel, it's almost as if no one ever knew that the Lego movies were a thing. I can't say I know the definitive answer, but I can say it will never stop confusing me that out of all the major animated franchises within the past decade, the Lego one was the one that quickly faded in fame. Do you all not like good movies? Okay. Let's back it up. So, I just want to say, welcome back to my show where I talk about stuff. Hope you all stick around because I plan to go bigger this year. That being said, let's get back to the Lego movies. A cinematic universe that now seems to be gone. I mean, right from the start, it all seemed like a gamble. A movie based on a toyland that's just a bunch of blocks? Who would even care about that? Why would anyone want to care about that? But then, the first movie hit and it became a pretty big hit, with directors Phil Lord and Chris Miller cementing themselves as the guys to get whenever you plan to tackle weird or bad ideas.
And no negativity of any kind.
People love the story, the humor, the use of pop culture, and even Batman of all characters.
Song I wrote for Wild Style. Darkness. It's about how I'm an orphan. No parents.
So much that the follow-up would not be a sequel, at least not right away. No, it would be a spin-off focusing on this universe's Batman. Meanwhile, there was a Cartoon Network show that focused on their Ninjago toy line, so it made sense to tackle that as well, with a direct sequel coming after those movies. It seemed like the LEGO Cinematic Universe might be worthy to explore, because if they were willing to explore different areas, why would it lose steam so fast? So, the first time we noticed a crack in the LEGO franchise would be with the Ninjago movie. Sure, LEGO Batman performed less than expected, but all things considered, it was a spin-off, and with competition from John Wick, it wasn't that surprising that it wasn't as big as the LEGO movie. Still, it made bank, and it was a successful feature, just not as successful as one expected. Ninjago though? Yeah, that was quite a flop. I know it was never expected to be as big a hit as the prior two films, but flat out failing? That was definitely not a good sign. The movie also received mixed reviews, which didn't help its status. Some blamed the fact that it came so close to the previous film, others blamed the lack of recognizable nostalgic material, while others would just shrug and say it looked bad. That was disappointing, sure, but what came next would be even more shocking. The Lego Movie 2 flopped badly as well. What happened? Was the Ninjago movie that damaging? Did no one actually like the Lego movie? Was there a storm that kept people in? Did Lego just stop being an appealing brand? I mean, it can't be the last one. People still buy Legos, right? So I'll be completely upfront that me being all in on the Lego franchise was entirely by the luck and choices made for the first film. I've played with Legos in the past, even voiced a Lego character, #promotion. But I can't say I've been a diehard Lego fan. Sure, I played the Star Wars Lego games, but I have no deep nostalgia for the brand. When I heard the guys who made Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and the 21 Jump Street reboot were in, I was sold largely because they made two bad ideas for a movie's work, so why not this? The movie hit, and yeah, I loved it. Might be the best animated movie of the 2010s. Following that, we got Lego Batman, which I was sold on because I loved Arnett's work in the first Lego movie, and while not as good, it was a solid critique on the greedy Batman, and I fully understand why some would consider it to be the best Batman movie, which brings us to the Ninjago movie, a movie I actually enjoyed as well. Considering how little I know and care about the Ninjago toyline, I consider this a win. I get why it's not for everyone, especially considering the supporting cast, mainly the main character's friends, are pretty forgettable, but I still laughed quite a bit throughout it, and the father-son story I thought was touching. Finally, the Lego Movie 2 was an incredible sequel. Not as good as the first, but then what is? That the movie decided to ask the target audience to consider how they play with their siblings was a pretty bold choice, and a good continuation from the first movie asking older audience members to let kids play as they do. Is this a clear enough image about how I feel like about these movies? I honestly don't know what went wrong. The easiest answer would be that people were so accustomed to nostalgia that when the franchise decided to tackle a franchise relevant to the youngest viewers, it just turned off so many fans. I don't like that answer though, because it means that people are so crappy that anything new is considered bad to them and unworthy of their attention, and okay, that seems to be true a lot of the time, but I still refuse to believe that, because that doesn't explain why people didn't show up for the Lego Movie 2, which did feature plenty of nostalgia for older fans, including a time travel subplot of all things.
Sorry, Doc, I need your DeLorean. And Bill, Ted, your phone booth, Doctor Who's TARDIS, H.G. Wells' bicycle thing, whatever Skynet's been using in this hot tub.
The only other thing that I could think of would be market saturation. But with only 4 Lego movies in the span of 5 years, that still sounds wrong. No, Not really. The only film that we truly lost was the Billion Brick Race, which sounded like the Wacky Races but with Lego. Interesting idea, wish it happened, but losing that is not the end of the world. And the films we did get didn't end with cliffhangers, so I'm fine if this is how the book closes on this story. I think it sucks because I think quality deserves success, but if this is it, and it does seem to be the end, well, I'm glad we got them anyway. And I'm glad we won't be left hanging. Sure, we could have gotten a Lego Batman 2 or a Lego Movie 3, but as is, these were wonderful movies, and their universe was fun to witness as it played out in front of us. It still sucks though. See you with my next video.
Everything's not awesome.
Wait, what?
So I was right.
Everything's not cool.
I am so depressed.
Everything's not awesome.